Hi, in this video you'll learn about recursive search algorithms. In a previous lesson, we were introduced to the idea of recursion. Put simply, recursion is a form of repetition where a method calls itself. With recursion, you break the problem down into similar subproblems of the same form. For example, here's the recursive method that sums numbers down to 0. The recursion utilizes a base case, which is the simplest form. If it is not at the base case yet, the method uses the recursive call. Each time it makes a recursive call, it is calling a slightly simpler problem until it reaches the base case. Throughout this lesson, you are going to learn about how you can use recursion to implement searching and sorting algorithms. Remember the linear search algorithm? Linear search algorithms check each element in order until the desired value or the end of the list is reached. Our algorithm used a for loop to search through the list. While this process works fine for smaller lists, it can be terribly inefficient if you have to search through large lists of data to find the desired value. Are there other, possibly more efficient searching techniques you can use? Absolutely. Introducing the binary search algorithm. Binary search is an efficient algorithm that repeatedly divides a sorted array in half to find a target value, eliminating half of the remaining elements with each step. The general approach with a binary search is as follows. Let's say you are trying to find the value 51 in the sorted list below. A binary search finds the middle of the array and tests that point. If the target value is greater than the midpoint value, then the search eliminates the lower half, or vice versa if the value is smaller. This process is then repeated, finding and comparing a new midpoint each time until the value is found or one value remains. One thing to remember is that the array must be sorted for a binary search. While this process is slightly more efficient for smaller arrays, like this one, it is significantly more efficient for larger arrays. A linear search of 10,000 records could have a worst-case scenario of 10,000 comparisons. With binary search, our worst case is only 15 comparisons to find the value. When comparing the two searches, there are 3 important things to remember. First, binary searches are much more efficient than linear searches, especially when dealing with large lists. Second, linear searches will work on sorted or unsorted lists, but binary searches only work with sorted lists. Finally, the algorithm for binary searches is a little more complex than that of linear searches. Let's take a look at that now. Basically, our algorithm needs to do the following. Set the beginning and end points of the current search range. Calculate the middle element. Then, depending on how that element compares to the target value, adjust the beginning or end of the new search range before calculating the next middle value. This process repeats until the target value is found, or the beginning and end elements are the same index and the last value does not match the target value, in this case, 55. Let's take a look at the code needed for an iterative binary search algorithm with a while loop. Imagine this algorithm is part of a method that will either return the index of the found target value or a value of -1. Notice that at the top of the iterative cycle, you calculate the midpoint index, then test its array value before updating the beginning and ending indexes based on the results. Let's walk through this process with an input array. Here's the same sorted array and target value that you've seen before. You'll start by setting the initial beginning and ending indexes of the search. Then, as you enter the loop, you'll calculate the first middle point index. On the first pass, the target value is greater than the midpoint value. It then updates the beginning index to be the next index after that midpoint. This process repeats. Since the beginning index is now 6 and the end has not changed, the midpoint shifts to index 8. The target value is now less than the value of the new midpoint. With this in mind, the endpoint is adjusted and the top half of the array is eliminated. In the final iteration, there are only 2 values remaining. The midpoint value is calculated as the same value as the beginning point in this case. The midpoint value that is tested is equal to the target number, and the midpoint index is returned. As you saw in a previous lesson, problems that are solved using a loop can also be solved using recursion. Let's take a look at how you can modify the algorithm to be a recursive one. Let's now look at this task using recursion. A few things to point out with this modified algorithm. Like the while loop, right at the beginning it checks to make sure the search range is still valid. This prevents a possible infinite recursion, and is the base case when the target is not found in the array. Every time the method is called, you are still calculating the midpoint index. Then, the target value is still compared to the value at the midpoint index. When you get a match, the matching index is still returned. The only difference with this recursive method is that when the target value does not match the midpoint, you are recursively calling this method again, adjusting the beginning and ending indexes in the arguments, which get sent into the method as new parameters. Applying this adjusted algorithm to the same array, you actually get a very similar set of steps as the iterative approach. The initial parameters set the beginning and end values. The midpoint index is calculated, the target is greater than the current midpoint value, It now recursively calls this method with a new beginning index and the same ending index. The midpoint index is calculated again, the target value is now less than the midpoint value, and the method is called recursively again with a different ending index. The midpoint index is calculated. This time, the target value equals the midpoint value, so the midpoint index of 6 is returned. This value is now sent back through the series of return statements in reverse order, returning the index of 6 to the original call statement of this method. Why would you choose one approach over the other? For a binary search, both approaches offer roughly the same efficiency from a speed and memory perspective. Choosing one approach over the other is more a personal preference in this case. Now it's your turn to practice recursive searching.